Hi, my name is Jordan Hurst, and today I'll be giving a presentation over my Globus project and my company, as well as our company's goals and strategy. So first, my company was Fantastical Company. We were in Industry 6 in the Globus project. So now I'm going to talk about our company's mission statement. In preparing our mission statement before we started this project, we asked ourselves 3 questions. What is our organization's goal? Who are our customers and what do they value? And what can we do to differentiate ourselves from our competitors? In asking ourselves these questions, we came up with our mission statement. Our mission is to provide a product that our customers value at a price that they can afford. So now I'm going to talk about our business strategy. So overall, we went with a differentiation strategy to offer our customers higher end products at lower cost. So our products are going to be higher quality and the higher features, which it's going to be more expensive than just the low quality products, but it'll still be at an affordable price. We as a company did not attempt a best cost strategy. We discussed this before we developed our differentiation strategy, and we decided that it was not the strategy that we wanted to go with. So next I'm going to talk about our strategy and if we changed it. So we did change our strategy halfway through the simulation. We recognized that our competitors were ranking higher than us and having higher earnings per share and stock price numbers. So like I said, we changed our strategy about halfway through in years 9 and 10, and we changed this because we saw that our competitors and the other companies were doing a lot better than we were, and we decided we were going to try to better compete with them. So now I'm just going to talk about a little bit about our strategy and our numbers and then how we changed it. So this is year 6. This is our first year. And as you can see, we have the highest revenues of all the companies, but our earnings per share and our stock price are significantly lower than some of the other companies, and then that's why they performed higher than us. And again, in year 7, our revenues were kind of average this year, but again, our earnings per share and our stock price were significantly lower than our competitors. So our strategy, we're focusing on revenues, and we had higher revenues, but we weren't focusing on our earnings per share or our stock price. So in year 8, we had one of the second or third highest revenues, and we began to increase our stock price slightly and our earnings per share. So in year 9, this is really when we recognized that we needed to change. Our company had been placed lower than most of the other companies, and we decided that we needed to start focusing on things other than our revenues. So as you can see here, we had the second highest revenues, and our stock price had increased slightly, but we still had a lower stock price than 4 or 5 of the other companies, as well as our earnings per share too. And in year 10, we had the second highest revenues, I believe, and our earnings per share did increase slightly, and our stock price increased a little bit as well. And another thing about our company, we usually had a high image rating, but in this year we had our image rating was at 80 and the highest was at 87. And some of the years we were up towards the top. So in year 11, when we changed our strategy, we kind of tried different things out. And in years 11 through 14, it kind of flip-flopped. Like in year 11, we were doing okay. Our revenues were towards the top, and our earnings per share increased a little bit. Our stock price, there wasn't a lot of change there. In year 12, there was no change in our revenues. Our earnings per share did increase, and our stock price increased significantly. So this just shows that even though our revenues didn't increase, our earnings per share and our stock price did increase in these years, so that helped us better perform in this year. In year 13, this was probably one of our worst performing years. As you can see, there was a significant decrease in revenue, and our earnings per share decreased, as well as our stock price almost declined double its value. So in year 14, our revenues increased a little bit, our stock price went back up, and our earnings per share went back up as well. So what I learned from our competitors is their focus on earnings per share and their stock price helped them better perform than we did when we were focused on revenues and our products. So that honestly caused us to change. We saw how they were performing compared to how we were performing. We were placed lower than the other companies, even though they weren't having as high as revenues as we were. We honestly changed too late. By the time we started to change and trying to figure out what strategy actually worked for us, we were too far behind to catch up with our competitors. So if I were to do this again, I would do it differently. I would honestly talk to the other people in this project and see how they went about making their decision and what strategies they used, and that would kind of influence how I would do this project again. My personal takeaway from this project was that there are a lot of decisions that go into managing a company, and any little change that we made in our simulation changed our revenues, our earnings per share, our stock price. I mean, it changed everything. So you'd have to take a lot of consideration into what you wanted to focus on. Like if you wanted to lower expenses in one category and apply that other money to other things such as research and development, you would have to see how that would impact your company. Another thing that I kind of took away was that a lot of consideration also has to go into issuing dividends. Issuing even a $1 to $2 dividend with a lot of amounts of stock can be very expensive for companies. And I know a lot of people invest in stock, and it just amazes me how much that can impact a company's ending cash flow. So thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you all have a great rest of the semester.